If I think about my relationship with God, I realize that it goes way further back than the day when I was born. Um, I think of my great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers and their relationships with God. Because you see, if a child is born and both his mum and dad have a real relationship with God, he sees it from the beginning. He sees real conversations with God, and he sees how his parents take the challenges that they have in life, take that to God. And it's just natural for the child to start doing the same. Of course, there's problems. My dad's dad, he died when he was about 1.5 years old or so. So his dad never got the chance to show him his relationship with God. But by the time I was born, both my parents had really strong relationships with God. Um, and my dad had some really big anger issues because of the way that he grew up. But I saw him. I saw him taking this stuff to God and really struggling with it and crying out to God and please change me. I don't want to be with like this. And I saw how God changed him. And I mean, by the time my dad was an old man, he was a real softie. So for me, it was just natural to have this relationship with God and to trust Him and just to have conversations with Him. Not religion, not doing things in a specific way or whatever, but really a relationship with Him. Just talking. I remember walking home from school or from rugby and just talking to God. Not a, a prayer that I was taught as a little child that have a specific order or whatever. It's just talking to him about the dog that I see or whatever happens. This humbles me extremely, to think that I had this privilege of just having this relationship with God since the beginning, and it makes me think of Deuteronomium. I hope I pronounced this right in English. But you remember this Deuteronomium 5 here from verse 8. You shall not make yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. But this is what I want to emphasize now. But showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Showing love to 1,000 generations. God connects Himself over generations. It's mind blowing to me, but it goes even beyond this. If I read this 1 Corinthians 7, you remember it's where Paul speaks about people who were married and then one became a Christian, the other one not. How do we handle this? So here in 1 Corinthians 7, from verse 12, look at this, what it says here. To the rest I say this, if any brother has a wife who is not a believer, and she is willing to live with him, he must not divorce her. And if a woman has a husband who is not a believer, and he is willing to live with her, he must not divorce him. For, look at this, for the unbelieving husband has been sanctified through his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified through her believing husband. It's incredible. I mean, this person isn't even a Christian, but because he or her is married to a Christian, there's a connection with God. But look at this now. The verse goes further. I'm reading it from verse 14 again. For the unbelieving husband has been sanctified through his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified through her believing husband. But look at this now. Otherwise, your children would be unclean, but as it is, they are holy. Otherwise, your children would be unclean, but as it is, they are holy. I mean, even if you have one Christian parent, only one, you are a child of God. He sees you as his child from the beginning. And this humbles me to realize how many time and effort God has put into me over generation. I mean, I did nothing to receive this. He just gave it to me, and it overwhelms me to just think this privilege that I have, that God has just poured so many time and effort and love into my life. And this is what grace is: receiving something that you didn't work for, receiving something that you didn't earn.